Glenwood, Arkansas City Council meeting, January 3rd, 2025.
Let us come out and do city business tonight. I want to thank you for watching over families in this community and keeping them safe. And I know there's things that's not exactly right all the time, but we appreciate you watching over and protecting some of the things that go on and the health of some of the people in the community. Be with us, we conduct city business tonight, we'll do it in a proper way. These things we ask in your name. Amen. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, we've got to swear in Jason, Alan, and Jenny. So Brenda, do you have to work for those three?
I think that, Jason, were you ready sworn in down there at Memphis Club? She had a form on
He didn't go down there.
He didn't go down there.
He hasn't got sworn in yet, so I have to swear all three of those in.
He's a Methodist, I know he can swear.
Brenda's got the paperwork back there.
Yeah. You're gonna do it all at one time?
Yeah, this is good long one. They're all the same wording, aren't they, except for each other? Huh? Okay, we'll do Jason by itself. I'll let you guys read your own oath, because y'all gonna have to say it after me anyway, so I'll just let y'all read it.
Okay. The only one that she said was, because she said you didn't have to.
Yes, she said go ahead and do that and make sure. Because his is he automatically is it, but it was still supposed to be somebody running, it didn't run, so just to make sure, get him to do it. Jason? You wanna read it?
I, Jason Lenderman, do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of Arkansas, and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of the office of Recorder Treasurer, upon which I am now about to enter, term beginning January 1st, 2025, and ends December 31st, 2020.
Okay. And you sign that, fill that up. No voting or second on that, it's just him swearing it in, right? Because there was elected positions. You'll notarize these once you're in.
I'll take them back to the office and I'll pick them up Monday.
Okay. You'll have to have copies because you gotta mail those in to the county and the state. Alan, you wanna read yours?
Yes, sir. Alan Moore, do solemnly swear or affirm that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of Arkansas, that I will faithfully discharge the duties of the office of Alderman, South Position 1, upon which I am now about to enter. Term begins January 1st, 2025, and ends December 31st, 2028.
That one? Jimmy?
Alright, I, Jimmy Clark, do solemnly swear or affirm that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of Arkansas, and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of the office of Alderman, North Ward Position 1, upon which I am now about to enter. Term begins January 1, 2025, and ends December 31st, 2028.
Accept all three of these. If y'all sign those, Brenda will notarize them and get y'all copies back to you tomorrow. Or not tomorrow. Guys, my days are mixed up. I don't know what day I'm in right now. You'll have to excuse me now.
And y'all have to fill this out and give it back to somebody.
That's their,
Campaign contribution.
Okay. Probably nothing on any of you, but still. If they get them back to you, can you send all this to Randy in one package? Y'all just fill those out and send them back, give them back to Brenda. That'll have to mail it in. She's got to mail these in anyway. And we'll get Brenda to send them in. Trish? No, no, did it while you drink, boss, you're in. Okay, all three of those, one, two, three. If y'all get the finance paperwork filled out back to her, then she can mail all that in. Yes. All right. Roll call.
Don't matter, it's not even.
Roll call. Alan.
Here.
Crystal. Here. Jimmy Clark.
Here.
Johnny Cox.
Okay. Approval of November sixth.
Give us an update on Johnny right quick.
Johnny had 3 bypasses. They set him up his chair today this morning while I was in there, and he was not a happy camper. And I wouldn't have been a happy camper if they got me out of bed, and I just had my whole chest cut open. But, they say he's doing as good as he can be doing for the time frame he's in. He's a lot of pain, but that's part of it. They gave him, oxycodone before I got there, plus his IV, and then they gave him tramadol and tramadol, is that right? Then that kind of settled him down, so I left when he started settling down this morning, let him quiet in there. He's still in the one where one nurse and was with him all the time, but he's doing real good so far. November sixth, minutes, if I can talk you through this, you know. I make a motion to approve November sixth minutes as presented.
I'll second that.
Motion and second, roll call.
Alan Moore.
Yes.
Chris Fuller.
Yes.
Jimmy Clark.
Yes.
Johnny Cox.
What you said.
Someone.
We did not have a meeting in December, so we need to vote to have a meeting in December. For December 2024, there was no council meeting, and that's all that there is in the minutes. We have another copy of that.
Yes.
I need somebody to make a motion, a second on that.
I'll make a motion, we accept that there was no meeting in December.
Second,
Yes.
roll call.
Alan Moore. Chris Fuller.
Yes.
Jimmy Clark.
Yes.
Johnny Cox.
I did.
You got that, my set, Jason said something.
I'll make a motion to approve this whole stack of papers.
You know, you're talking about the,
I'm messing with you there.
okay. All right, October financials. In front of you, Jason, you got anything to say on them?
We don't include the water and sewer, because they're not completed yet, there's still those other funds. And no real changes from where they usually look.
Okay. Do I have a motion to accept, October financials, less water and sewer?
When are we gonna have?
We're gonna have to have a
The
meeting.
next meeting.
We'll have to have next meeting, we're gonna have next meeting, close all the year out, so. The numbers are there, they haven't changed, the only thing about it is Jason's gotta do
We just gotta do the bonds. I've got.
the bond issue money is what's not done, and that's, Jason's gotta get that done, so that's what we're lacking.
We'll have all 3 months, October, November,
Okay.
December.
Okay.
And
What do
in
you need
November,
from us?
sir,
What do you need?
We're still gonna get that, will we be able to get that email before we get to the,
Yeah, that's what I'm like.
yep,
that's my main thing,
Yeah.
okay,
when we show up.
all right. Y'all can accept these with minus that, or y'all can table where we're
Okay.
at.
I'll make that motion to accept them without the water, yeah.
The motion to accept them without the water and sewer.
I'll second, it's already spent, so.
Yeah.
All in favor, or roll call?
Alan Moore,
Yes.
Chris Fuller,
Yes.
Yes.
That's November. Do you gotta do both months. So do
I'll make the
the,
motion for October.
okay, and then do November. November will be the same way.
You got this.
I did,
Okay.
was waiting on the November,
Okay.
that.
Well, I'll make that same motion. if you're gonna do it in November.
Need a second? Okay, I'll do that.
Roll call?
Alan Moore,
Yes.
Chris Fuller,
Yes.
Kenny Clark,
Yes.
Johnny Cox.
Okay. The big thing on the agenda tonight is the budget, and we're gonna need to run over it. Y'all not gonna, can't accept it tonight, because there's a couple things that's not gonna work in it. We're gonna have to do some changes, so, we'll run over it, and then, we've got a trash man sitting here, he's gonna wanna present you with something that I haven't been presented with yet, so you're gonna have to look at him and, sanitation part of the budget. Go ahead.
Really, the voice is
It's not working, so we're gonna have to, we're gonna get,
Yeah, these aren't, they're not, it's not working.
Okay.
so we're going to get,
Rhonda.
Rhonda, and we'll get it on, Rhonda share it with us, and we'll get it put on there tomorrow, on city page. All right. You go ahead and present yours, so you can go home,
Yes, sir.
unless you want to stay and listen to the whole budget.
No, sir, no, sir. I come tonight to ask for an increase on our garbage disposal by $3,000, which would increase it from $16,770 to $19,770 a month.
That's $3,000 a month.
And the reason I'm asking is just, it's been a little over 2 years since I was here, and just, I mean, everything's just went up. I tell you what I did, I kinda went over, y'all got a tax to pay for your garbage, so I kind of went over how I do all my other cities. So there's 121 businesses here in town, and I usually do like $15 a business, so that's $7,200 a month. There's 950 households, but Brenda told me they're not always occupied, so I just figured off $875 for $14 a household for garbage. Anyways, that come up to $19,770 is what I was asking. And actually, my little towns, I do get more than $14 a month per household, but that's just what I was figuring on for this Glenwood city. That's about it, that's pretty.
So it's 36,000 a year, 36,000 a year, right? Is that right?
Oh, yeah, you come up with 3, every raise, okay.
I mean, is it,
So you
so,
wanna pay that total?
no, it's 36,000 a year, right?
Yes.
Okay, I got that down, you got that.
What was it 3 years ago, Stephen, do you know?
3 years ago, it was,
We're paying $1675 a month, and he's wanting to go to $19.75 a month. And then we pay the tonnage, the city pays the tonnage ourselves, the tipping fee, the city pays on top of this. He doesn't pay the tipping fee, we pay the tipping fee going into it.
I don't think you really got an answer on that. I don't know what it was 3 years ago, but anyway.
He hasn't had a raise in 2 years.
I know, he just asked what it was 3 years ago.
And 2 years ago, how much of a raise did we
We
get?
had the last one I got, was $3,010.
2 years ago was 3,000. And so then that would be the answer to the question. If it's 3,000 and 16, that would have put it at 13. So if we do this, we'd have went from 13 to 19.7 in 3 years. Is that right or wrong? Am I right? Somebody correct me if I'm wrong.
You've been, yeah, 3 years, the last one. From, well, it'd be 3,000 from the 3 years.
You're gonna have to look at the whole budget. So you be thinking on that a minute, and we'll go through everything, and then y'all gonna have to look at everything and see what you're gonna do. Cause you're gonna have to adjust, the budget won't work with that number. I'm not arguing you don't need that number, we'll have to back something out of the
That's
budget.
what I'm sitting there thinking, what are we gonna cut to get there?
You'll cut some of your labor out on one extent. You'll-
So, okay,
We'll go over it and
hang
talk
on
about
just
it.
just a little second here. So, if we done a $3,000 increase 2 years ago, then that would have put us at, we would have been at 13.7, we went to 16.7, 3,000 more than that would put us at 19.7. So we're at 13.7. So one more bump and we will have doubled our garbage disposal fee. We'll have doubled it, pretty much in a matter of 4 years, roughly. I'm with him, we're just gonna have to, I think we're gonna have to figure out I mean, you guys do a great job, it ain't nothing to do with anything with that, and garbage disposal is high, and we're just gonna have to figure out where we get it from, which is in this mess right here. Figure out how we can afford it. I don't wanna have to put junk stuff back up for bids for sure,
Okay.
so. We're gonna have to do the whole budget.
Y'all wanna go over the sanitation budget first, since he's here, we can do that. I can tell you what it is, since he's here, it's broke down in sheets, y'all got a sheet there that says sanitation? Let's just start going over, since he's here and he's discussed, y'all won't discuss it, it's gotta be discussed sometimes, so right now it's good time anyway, we're gonna start with general fund, which is a nasty one, but we'll start with this one. Okay, income, interest income's the first thing, $6,151.23 is what I put down in the budget. It would probably be more than that. That's probably low, that's not high. Miscellaneous income, and I don't know where that comes from, but if you look at the budget, that $2,910.87. Brenda, can you tell me what miscellaneous income into that fund is?
That would be like someone wanting him to pick up extra money to pay for it, and he doesn't charge us that extra. It goes in with his,
Okay.
things. And
Sales, the sales tax that we get back on that 1 cent sales tax the county has is $386,044.03. The tipping fee reimbursement that we get back from the county on that 1%, because the cities are really getting shortchanged on this 1 cent sales tax, because the county gets all the money and the city doesn't get its fair portion, but that's neither here nor there, and ain't changing that. But we do, the House started giving us $35,712.25, and that is about the same as it's been being. I've put in the budget the same. I think that's gonna track. We budgeted $40,000 last year, and that income's down this year. Your population's down, so we're down And that typically is based on population, and that will be, we budgeted in last year's budget $40,000, and it's on track to do 35,000, so you're 5,000 short because we're short in population. I'm not saying we're short in population, we're short in population that got county, and that's what we get paid on everything. Next census, we got to make sure you get, I don't care who it is, if they're living in Glenwood, Arkansas city limits, they gotta be county, because this right here is just one line. Everything, general funds this way, everything we get reimbursement back by population is affected here. But you're down, I didn't say our population in Glenwood's down, at what you're picking up garbage, I'm not saying that. But the count from what got counted in the census, Pike County's whole count is down. Because it didn't get us a good census count, it's down everywhere. And that revenue, now the county's revenue is not down, but the split that they're sending back out to everybody's down except the county. Murfreesboro's gonna be gypped on this, Daisy's gonna be gypped on this, and whoever else is getting the money is gonna be gypped on this, because everybody, the overall revenue the county gets is not down. But the cities are down because it's based on population, if that makes any sense. So total income is $430,818.37. You gotta have a 10% reserve. So we've got the money to operate with this year's $387, $734.54. Now, if you look at those next expenses, vehicle expense, that's pretty self-explanatory. Uniforms, that's for, the people that work in the department. You got 2 employees. In this budget, you have 2.5 salaries. And that, we didn't have but 1 and a piece in there this year, because we never did staff up like we want to. Because we're picking up and we're hauling garbage. Right now, we're hauling on what's not supposed to be coming up there in that trash bin, what's coming up there in that trash bin is a completely different thing. We're doing at least, Brett, 3 loads a week. Sometimes more than that on those dumpsters we got up there, because everybody, they're bringing household garbage up there, and that's not what we're supposed to be getting. It's all supposed to be going to him, but we're getting, they're not letting him pick it up, they're bringing it up there and throw it in the dumpster. And so we're hauling it, so that's what those people are legit that's working in the department. We could possibly cut back to 2 personnel, the budget's showing 2.5. We didn't, if you look at last year's number, you're gonna see that budget, we're not near on budget because we were 2 employees short all year last year. One of them was in sanitation. But and if you go and look at some of the other budgets, you're gonna see we're over in some labor, but we're 2 employees short.
We just had them dumpsters out where anybody can just go there anytime they want, just put trash in it. Why
I
are
don't
we
know
not?
what you're gonna do about it, because they're gonna bring it up and throw it down if you don't. I'd rather have it that way, we can keep it picked up. If you try to shut that off, they just shut the front gate.
Yeah, to be honest with you, I don't know if it wouldn't be good just to get rid of all of them.
Well, here's what we run into. About 3 or 4 years ago, I introduced the idea of, on one hand, the zoning board, and anyway, they were coming down, the ones that were there at the time were coming down on different ones, and saying, you need to clean your yard up, do this, do that, which is fine if you have a pickup, if you have time to take off work, whatever. And so we got to looking, and we didn't have anywhere that people could go to without taking half a day or a day off and having a pickup to run to Pike County landfill and unload their stuff. So it wasn't really fair on one hand to tell people to clean your yard up, but on the other hand, have nowhere to go. So what I come up with this idea was that we have a chain link fence that you put 2 dumpsters in, and, it was just only the dumpsters fit in this chain link fence. If you got a water bill, you scan your water bill or whatever, and you, could back up to it and throw your trash out. And the contractors could not use it, because contractors will fill it up with shingles, they'll fill it up with everything, they'll flat load her down. And they're getting paid to get rid of this stuff, it's a free spot right up there. So it won't work with that, but for the homeowners that were already paying for it on their bill, it was a really nice way for them to be able to drive a mile up the road put it, like he said, put it inside the fence. If the fence was 2 feet taller than the deal, you wouldn't have trash being blown around all over the place. And it worked really slick. Where we went wrong was, we got the dumpsters, but then we had no control over it. We never put the fence, we never put anything, and we never put any signs up that told contractors they couldn't dump there, they needed to go to the Pike County landfill, and that type of deal. And so we halfway did a good project.
I don't think the contractors are dumping in that, are they? That's not contractors doing that. Somebody may replace a commode in a house and bring it up there and throw it in there. You're seeing some of that, but I'm not
Yeah, but they do
seeing-
large item pickup twice a year, I mean, hang on to it and, or haul it to the landfill yourself. I mean, what are we just going out there throwing it on the ground for? Doesn't make any sense to me, but anyway.
The town's cleaning up better.
No, we just had like, people would, for instance, their refrigerator goes
Well,
out.
the town's cleaned up better, all except for over there where the shop's at, because you've got trash everywhere over by them dumpsters, and they're full, running over, it's a mess.
We're trying to get them picked up better, but anyway, right now, that's what we're doing. So garbage collection is, if you did that, what is, 1975 times, 12? With that math,
3,000 times 12 is 36,000 minus 25 times 12, you're 240, you're looking at 35,000.
I had an increase in here, you're gonna have to adjust that, so if it was, what were you getting a month?
16,740.
1675 and $3,000.
35, 140.
So what's that gonna be? What
The
is that?
difference between that and that's 35, 140. That's what he wants, that's what you got.
Yeah, I put a 3% in there, but that's not. What's it gonna be with what he wants, so you just know what that total is.
20, the negative 22, 73.
Hey, that's about what everything else is going, so like everybody don't. Our health insurance in here, when you look at the health insurance on these two employees here, and you look at the health insurance on every city employee we got, it went up $200 a month per employee per year. So if we don't give a pay raise at all to the city employee, they're getting a $2,400 pay raise. So what was that number? What the total would be, not that. What would it be? 237, 240. So 237, 240.
Which is $35,140 difference from what you
Okay.
got.
Health insurance went from 9,000, if you got 2.5 employees in there, that'll adjust back down if you take some of the employees out, that's 2.5 employees in there. Workers' comp, all of that would adjust down if you do away and don't fill that position. And that's the only way the budget is balanced, because if you look at the bottom, you were $2,400 to the good, the way the budget was set, with him at 212,000, which is a 3% pay raise. Okay, I'm just going, the insurance on employees, if you look at this on every budget we're going through, there's a 3% pay raise in there. And
Well, Billy, let me stop you there. You're saying that 3,000, 16%, you're talking about a 25, basically a 25% increase. Not a 3%.
I had in the budget, the 212 was 3%. The budget,
Yeah,
the
yeah,
budget
that's
won't
what I'm
work,
saying.
y'all are gonna have to tell me where you want to adjust the
Right,
budget. The
that's what
budget
I'm
won't
saying,
work
but
with what I'm
I'm
doing.
saying, as far as like from Stevens deal, we're talking about a 25 roughly, is that right, 20%? Is that pretty close? I mean, you can tell real quick. We're at 16.7, 16.7, 3%, 3,000 in that, 17% increase is basically what it would be.
For 2 years, because he didn't get one last year. And I'm sure he had an expense increase last year with.
Oh, I'm not rooting for it or against it, I just know we got.
And I understand,
Just like you.
y'all gonna have to look at this budget, and y'all gonna have to tell me where we're gonna cut. It's up to you guys. We're just going over everything.
Hey, I'm not for you or against you, I'm just saying.
Well, it can't, you just got, y'all gotta tell me where we're gonna make this thing work at, it's, y'all tell me, that's where the budget works.
I just
Landfill
know he wants
expense,
his checks to cash.
landfill expense is 56,000. That's, we get a tipping fee back from the county, but we have to pay the Southwest Regional Landfill, so we're paid them 50, if we stay on budget, 56,000. And I think that's gonna be real close to the number that stays at. Tipping fee, the tonnage going into the Southwest Regional Landfill is down. From all 7 counties that's in it, the tonnage going into the landfill, I don't know how, but the tonnage going into the landfill is down this year. And they're gonna go up on tipping fees, cause they're not gonna go down revenue. So, but the tonnage itself is down in the regional landfill from all 7 counties that are filling in it, if y'all wanna know that. Miscellaneous expense, $1,000, and they spent 400, I spent 1,000, they spent 400 to date, and this budget was worked on 3 months ago, or 3 months ago's budget, cause that's what I had. Vehicle expense was, $6,200, and wages was, that's with 2.5 salaries, is $70,000. You're gonna back that down to make this budget work. If you look at the positions, y'all all have this sheet right here in front of you. See the one that says, this one? That's your salaries that are figured in each of your departments. You're really not at full 2. You have an $18,000 salary, a $9,000 salary, and a $41,000 salary. So you have 1 full-time and 2 part-time. And you just have to tell me which one you want to cut. And that part-time may have been shared over in another, department, if you look up through there. I gotta look. It's been so long ago since I did this, and I didn't look at it just today, so. The numbers that you're working with in the budget are from these numbers on the salaries that's over here though. So that's where you are, and with that $237,000 will be, what's the difference? I'll be upside down. If you don't do any, you gotta do something, I'll be upside down
25,140.
25,140. Okay. That's what you're gonna have to back out.
Well, looks like to me, you're gonna have to back out 1.5. And you just cut 1.
Well, if you get your health insurance will go back, and all the other deductibles up there go back.
Yeah, but even if you cut the 18, it still won't be enough.
In health insurance, I had $20,000. Brenda, what, health insurance is $1,000 a month, what's it a month this year?
$838.
$800, what? $838,
That's a month.
that's a month per employee.
Per month?
Yes.
Yeah.
$838
Oh, yeah.
per employee per month. That's what it went to. And everybody's going about, oh, that's too much money. In that right there, and what Glenwood itself did, the insurance company paid out $132,000 more in premium than we paid in, or in, to the doctors and everything, than we paid into them last year. We had the last 3 or 4 years here, we have been an exceptionally sick city. Workers' comp mod, you don't even know wanna know where we're at now. If it was a store, you wouldn't be allowed to have an employee. We're 400% of mod. You can't run it 100% of mod. Lots and lots of stuff, but a lot of stuff has got turned in on, a workers' comp that doesn't belong on workers' comp. For instance, in the police department, and I'm not picking on the police department, okay? But if the police department is making an arrest and gets an injury here and there, that's not a workers' comp claim. That's handled different with them. I don't know how that's handled different, we're gonna have to find out how. But you can't, you just get you can't be, we didn't have any claims this year in workers' comp. So our mod will rock back some in workers' comp, but you're paying the maximum in workers' comp you can pay right now. The workers' comp's not health insurance. Workers' comp's another line in this budget. For instance, in this employee right now, gets $6,000 workers' comp in sanitation. Cause it doesn't matter, the workers' comp rate goes through all the departments the same, just like the health insurance goes through all the departments the same.
We're gonna go, I mean, we're gonna go.
You're gonna have to back out.
We know what he wants, so we're just gonna have to.
You're gonna have to see what you're gonna do, and you're gonna have to back out of the budget to make the budget. Because the budget will not work right now.
All this across over here is monthly, right? Where it says insurance, Medicare, and Social Security, right? That's monthly
Yes.
for that one, okay.
Your total line over there on the far right is your yearly expense.
Where? Oh,
Far right is your yearly expense.
Where,
To the right.
on this page?
No, you're looking at, that is.
On this page? Yeah, I've got that, okay.
You just have a position there, you take a position out. It's not filled right now, you're just trying to get some more work done, you know, everybody wants more stuff done, we're not getting it done. And I guess the question y'all are gonna, and y'all may not, y'all don't have to answer this tonight, but we gotta get budget fixed.
well,
This
no,
first time you looked at it.
we got his proposal, but we're not gonna be, we're gonna have to crash it all.
Y'all can't vote on approving the budget tonight.
No.
Y'all just, okay. On sanitation, you understand where we are, correct?
I think what we're gonna have to do on this, on his proposal and the sanitation.
You can actually take out the halftime position, you'll be fine, the halftime.
The halftime position should make you balance.
Part-time position will actually put you over by probably somewhere around 3,000-4,000, maybe 4.
I came up with
4.5.
140.
Do what?
I came up with 25, 140.
No, not when you back all that out.
All of it?
When you back all that out, and even the, did you do the Social Security and all that?
No, I don't.
Yeah, so you want to
Okay.
do all that. You only do.
I'm gonna have to bring y'all back a budget. Y'all tell me where you wanna trim, I'll bring you back a budget.
That's
You
fine.
can't approve this budget. You're gonna take a half person out.
Yeah. I mean, I mean, that, we'll discuss it later, but I'm just saying that's,
But we got his proposal, what he's proposing to us.
This, yeah, it won't fly with this pay raise. You give it, I'm not saying you don't need pay raise,
We just
the
gotta.
budget won't work.
We gotta make it work, so.
Okay. Y'all know what you gotta do in sanitation. If that's what you wanna do, I can see if that should balance.
You have everything from him?
Huh?
You have everything you need from him?
Yes. Unless y'all got any other questions.
No, I don't have.
You have any more questions, Mr. Boyd?
No, I just like to tell him I appreciate a really
Yes.
good job, and everything's just getting higher and higher for everybody, and I know that, but,
I just
at
feel
the same
good.
time, we want the checks to cash, so, we're gonna have to do some research on it, in my opinion, do a little bit of research, and then we'll feel good about which way we are voting. I'm speaking for myself,
Okay.
I agree.
because we gotta pay for it, so.
You're gonna tell me what you want the next calendar, you're gonna go through all these budgets, you're gonna tell me what you're gonna do to make them work and not work. And, the next one is, you wanna look at streets next?
Thank you.
I did street, if you look at street, a little different. Interest income is 81,000. That should be pretty close, I think it should be for street for the year. Street, property tax is 26,000. And street, now, Brenda, that's back from the state, right?
The property tax is from the county.
That's the county, okay. That goes to street, that's right, there's part that goes to street, part that goes to general.
State.
And then the sales tax that's coming back on the, what's left of the half cent, if you leave it the way you did last year, we put the percentage in the other three budgets. I left that the same, just like we agreed upon with the people. You're gonna have $379,000. State turnback, that's your, comes back from the state on your street funds, $175,000, for a total income of, $662, and then $596, $354 would be your income. It won't be your income, you're fixing to come down there and you're fixing to see another $900,000. The Mountain View sidewalk project should be next year, and that's $500,000 grant. So that will be coming in, and then, this is up to you guys, there's $400,000 in there, we did not get our grant to do any paving with next year. I put $400,000 out of CDs in there, if y'all wanna talk, that's something you're gonna talk about, you wanna do paving next year, you wanna do no paving. The budget will take no paving if you don't take some out of your CDs. And right now, your CDs are losing 25% a year of value with what asphalt's going up to leave it in CDs. Asphalt paving in 2 years I've been at is up 50% from what it was when Billy T was mayor. Just so you can pave every year exactly 50% of what you could pave for 3 years ago. And that's nothing against anybody, that's just how much stuff's went up. And the highway department says that's not rolling back. They're extending jobs out just to get contractors to bid. There's so much government money out there right now, things have got. But anyway, if y'all wanna pay, you're gonna have to prove moving some CD money. If you don't wanna pay, you take it out. But that's just a line in and a line out of the budget. If you say, okay, I wanna pay $100,000, you change that to 100, then down there in the line of paving, you put 100,000. That's just for talking point. I have no idea what you guys wanna do. But that would be $1.4 million in expenses and, in income if you move that, and I'm not gonna hold 10% out of, I'm not gonna hold 10% out of money for the grant for the highway project, cause that's 100%, that's an in and out thing, and I'm not, you can't make the budget work if you try to hold, and we don't have to hold 10% out on grants. And then the CD moving is just money that's already here. If you do that, you'll understand what that is. Right of way bond, $200, membership dues, $507, equipment purchase. I have looked at buying a new, one-ton truck for y'all, there again. This is a proposed budget. Y'all gotta tell me what you wanna do. I'm not saying go buy a truck, but our maintenance is eating us up on some of our old vehicles. We need to buy 2 vehicles next year. And we need to buy a curb
You say
sweeper.
next year, you mean this
And
year?
the budget we're working on right now. If y'all approve it, we'll buy a vehicle. If you don't approve it, it'll come out. Y'all got to tell me, I got a pretentious budget, that's what I've done, and I'm not telling you guys that's what you're gonna do. Don't think that, okay? It's in the budget. Equipment repair, $6,000, and in August, we were $4,400 last year. So that will bust in the budget if we don't get rid of some of the equipment, more than likely. Health insurance. We were at $12,000, at $20,000. That's up $200 a month an employee. Workers' comp, see the number there.
Basically, we're still trying to clean Bridges' mess up, is what you're trying to say.
No, workers, your insurance, my health, the county, what the county did, if y'all know what the county did, they topped out on paying, they topped out, they're not gonna pay but $600 a year of the employee's insurance. But they gave a 5% pay raise. So in this budget, I paid the insurance, but gave 3% pay raise. So, which way you wanna do it? It's up to y'all. At the store, we've limited $600 a month on health insurance. Again, it's, y'all gotta look at it, gotta tell me which way you wanna go. Then, Medicare's just what it is, Social Security, and materials is just stuff you buy here and there in the department. We spent $23,000 last year, I don't think we'll spend as much this year, there's $15,000 in the budget. Repair equipment, $8,000, we spent $9,300 through the first 9 months. Again, street lights, we've already talked about that, they're going up some on us. Well, no, I put that same as budget, the budget was 29 last year and left it, and they said they would not go up on us because we were paying for lights, and they would start fixing the lights. So hopefully they're not gonna go up on us. Sidewalk project, $600,000 is what the project's estimated to be. We're gonna take $100,000 out of our money, $500,000 grant. Engineering inspection, $88,741. Street resurfacing, $500,000. So there's $100,000 in there. Street signs, I put $1,000 in there. Brett, we're gonna need, you bought $5,000 worth of signs last year, you gonna need to buy $5,000 worth of signs again this year?
It depends on how many people borrow.
How many people need to carry them home and put them on the wall? Supplies was $23,000. That was projected, that just started last year's budget, we spent, I think that should be pretty, those are guessing games, guys. And, then utilities were down, and they're down a little bit from last year. So overall, and if you leave that budget just like it sits with your, your $6,000 to the good at the end. But the thing you gotta look at, it's scary, you're spending $81,000 of interest income. You're spending your interest in this budget to make the budget balance, and that's buying $70,000 worth of new equipment. Okay? Y'all gonna have to look at these, you can't decide on all these tonight, it's a lot to look at. Is there any other question in the street code? Okay, I have prices here of trucks, if y'all wanna look at them, and the equipment that I wanted you to look at to make it work in the budget, if y'all wanna look at that, you're not gonna do it tonight.
Yeah.
I've got some prices here for you to look at. Ready to move on? Okay, let's go to water and sewer, that's easy. Because we don't have our note payments on everything this year. In this budget, as we get on into it, you're gonna see 2 lines for maintenance, one says maintenance interest. What I did is figured the maintenance, to do maintenance in the system, in the water and sewer department, and I put the note payment that we're gonna be making on the new note on water, and the note payment is for the new sewer note payment. Hopefully that won't be spent, but we need to start considering that in the budget, because it's gonna be an expense as quick as these projects get done. And you won't have an expense of that this year, there's no way, if the project gets done, Brenda, it's usually a year after completion before you make first payment. We're 3 years away from making a payment on these water and sewer projects we're getting ready to do. Because they'll be 100% complete 1 year before the city will make a payment on natural resources. But I'm showing you in the budget, if we stay at the 1.75% interest, and everything stays the money we're agreed to borrow, and that's the way it's in your budget. Okay, water revenue next year, $1,071,996.46. It's got your 2% increase, which is what is automatic. Norman is not automatic, theirs is you really don't wanna pay Norman's water rate, but Norman pays, the cost of water production, and we can have that audited. It was audited when they did the audit, when the guy did our, rate study. And that, they pay the cost of production at the water plant, but they also pay, is it 60% of that note that takes water up through there, and we pick up,
$9,645 a month.
huh?
$9,645.
If you think Norman's getting a break, you're bad mistaken.
They're having to pass the dirt line and.
Yeah. Norman pays us $9,000 a month. If they use anything over $1.8 million, they pay the real water rate. So anybody says Norman's not paying their fair share, but that was cheaper for Norman to do that than it was to build their own water plant. This was all looked at when it was done. They looked at Glenwood supplied Norman water, they looked at Montgomery County Rural Water Association, Regional Water Association providing them water, and them building a plant. And Norman elected to go with Glenwood, so. At some time, when that note's paid off, we gotta remember, somebody needs to remember, there's 2 years that they didn't make payments on it, so when the note's paid off, they still owe the city of Glenwood 2 years. And then you'll have to look at a rate for them once that's all paid for. But right now, there's still probably 12 more years, maybe longer than that,
That's well.
left on their deal. North Pike County, is different than Norman because they pay on a real water rate. It's basically whatever a Glenwood resident pays times 130%, minus, they missed 2 rate increases, so they're probably really at about 125%. So if you think North Pike County doesn't pay fair share of water, they pay 125% of what a city of Glenwood resident pays on the same rate schedule. And then they have to sell it to their people. Now, it does get cheaper the more water you buy. Somebody in town buys more water, you get more water you buy, the cheaper it gets per thousand. But they're paying a higher rate than any city customer does with the same type, if you're in the same scenario.
Okay, you're gonna lose our customers, so don't say anything else.
Okay?
I'm just kidding, Billy.
Water-
Basically, what you're saying is that there's been a lot of criticism through the years saying we gave these sweetheart deals, and the numbers don't reflect we gave away no sweetheart deals. It looks to me like that, we was their best option, and if they're at a 1.3, if they're at a 1.3, 100% plus 30% right now, the income, when different ones have said through the years, let's cut this, when this don't service this group and that group, the income from there is what's making our note payments on our other
It
stuff.
It does.
I mean, in a big way, actually.
Water revenue penalties, if people don't pay their water bills on time, 16, that's probably gonna be around $18,000 this year, but I put in a budget at 16,000. I wish people could get their bills paid on time, so they didn't have to pay the penalty, but anyway. Sewer revenue, $625,644.59. Sewer penalties, $8,000. Connect fees, connection fees, $25,000. That's running with what it's been running every year. Now, then the sales tax for water and sewer, and these are broke up, and you're gonna see these merged in the budget, because our note payment to redo the water notes, the 1 cent goes to the note payments that are there today, so we can free up the money. And the city will operate on the sales tax money beyond the note payment to pay our bills. Then we do these, sewer projects and water projects we're getting ready to do. The water project will be on the sales tax. The sewer project will totally be paid for out of revenue from water and sewer department. This was explained to y'all last year, and I have not got this change in here, but that's gonna be changed. And Jason will have to see how they tell him to put that in the, monies this year. That number will be true, but the way it's gonna be put out in the future budgets is gonna be different. Jason's gotta see how they want all that worded as those bonds come through, and they're not here because the jobs aren't done, okay? Interest income sewer, 40,000, miscellaneous, water income, 3,000. Hydrant rental, believe it or not, the city has to pay hydrant rental to the water department, you cannot get out of that, 2,000 minimum you pay. So the city general budget has, fire department has to pay the water department a minimum of $2,000 a year. We tried to get out of that years ago, and they said, those fire hydrants are not the cities, they're the fire departments, and they're gonna pay something rent. So, that's, you can't do away with that number, even though it's a token number. That is a minimum. You're looking at so that's 2,826,504 with your 10%, withheld. Then your water loan project's gonna be 3,754,575. Your, sewer replacement loan is gonna be 4,383,515. Your, if we get a grant for the UV light at the sewer plant, which if y'all went to the meeting with, ADQ, guys, my mind not over here now, I'm sorry. But anyway, the grant would be $470,000, and that's gonna be 470 in, 470 out, if we get the grant. They told us once we sign that paperwork, they'd get us the grant. For a total, income with grants next year, 11,436,073.80. The water department, sewer department's got a lot of work to get done this year. Then Jason will have to put in our package, if this gets done this year or if it gets done next year, the water loan, the water project, the 3,754,575, 75% of that's forgiveness. We have to pay for the project when the project's complete, and they're gonna cut a check back to a natural resource, and that money we're gonna pay 25% of that loan. If you look on down in the budget for expense, I'm looking at the note payment on 25% of that money, because 75% of that's gonna be paid back. Y'all understand where we are?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right, administrative, bond fees, that's, you pay the bond attorney to write the bonds, that may be low next year, I don't know what those are gonna cost, because some of that is included in their fee and you can't see it. This $950 we paid last year, and it was, on the redoing of the bonds, we paid that $950 on top of whatever their fee was in there, so I put it in there just to make sure. ACS software the water and sewer department runs on. Counting fees, that's what you pay, what's the Arkadelphia law firm, Plyler,
All those Rogers and,
who's doing the city's book?
Ryder, Rogers, and Manning.
Huh?
Mr. Rogers.
Rogers is doing the city's work, and the Plyler guys don't kin to me, I've never met him. And then the audit fee. Brandon, which one is the audit fee of the county? I'm tired.
Accounting is,
That's yours.
no,
Brenda's, okay, that transfers. And the audit fee is 11,000, huh?
That's the water and sewer
That's-
audit for the RPF.
Yes, the RPS gets that. Okay? Auto expense, advertising, you will have to advertise some of these bonds. And that may be, I don't know what that's gonna be, but there's $500 in there. $20,000 automobile expense. Auto expense, $8,000. Bad debt service, $5,500, that's what we wrote off in water. Expect to write off in water, $4,000 in sewer. Bookkeeping to general fund, that's Brenda's salary, that transferred, or, let me rephrase that, that's not Brenda's salary, that's the, whatever you call her position salary.
clerk.
Whoever that is, that's where that goes to pay. Okay, and then chemicals, sewer, 15,000, chemicals, water, 100,000, depreciation, 140,000 sewer, 290,000 water, and that may be different by whatever The accountant tells us that number's gotta be. That was, we think that's a guess till he tells you. Permit and dues, 12,000. Water plant expansion, 3,000,000, $3,660. Engineering fee, $750,915. Sewer project, water main, $3,506,000. The UV grant, $376,743. And then, engineering fees, $970,888.80. And I love that there's no negotiation in these. This is what, all these fees are on what's called a fee curve. The engineer's not allowed to set them, and the city's not allowed to negotiate them. Natural Resource sets his fee for the percentage of job, it's called a fee curve. And there's no negotiation in that. Back when Harold Scott was mayor and I first got on council, he wanted to bid that out, and Natural Resource come to you real quick and said, there's no bidding that, that's fee curve, and it's percentage of the job, and that's what they get. It's black and white. So that is what it is. Health insurance, $40,000, and $10,000 in sewer. Insurance on sewer, that's the buildings, $22,000. Water, $129,000. Those are, we know what those are, those, unless they have an increase this year, that's what they were last year. We're all through the municipal league on that, and we are,
It's not 129, it's 22,551, right?
huh?
Yeah, you went down a number.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Interest would be the next one.
yeah.
Interest water, interest sewer, that's payments we're paying interest now. $1,500 is what you pay the guy from the store that's done his IT work this year.
Bag of what you want.
Legal fees, $3,000, and that could be up some. I don't know where all that's gonna be as you do these projects. Maintenance water, maintenance
So
sewer.
back to that IT operations, we saved a lot of money on that.
Yeah, but anyway,
Huh? Yeah.
it was $15,000 last year, year before, 2 years ago.
Yeah, we got a better deal.
But anyway, maintenance sewer, that's $300,000. If you look over there, we spent $885,000 last year. That's rebuilding basically the whole sewer plant. And water was $300,000, and I put $300,000 and $193,000 in the budget. And then your next line down there says maintenance water bond, maintenance sewer bond. That should be our payment on those projects when they get done, and that will not be an expense this year. If you need to spend that maintenance of equipment, you could this year. Hopefully you won't have to, hopefully you won't be spending that kind of money this year. I don't foresee us having to rebuild much this year. As we get wrapped up, we still got to wrap up some of these projects, it's not complete, but the biggest part of the money has been spent. And those are in there, those will become real numbers at some time. Okay, miscellaneous water expense was $100, I don't know what that's just in and out number that they want in there. Miscellaneous sewer expense, $200. Office expense, $16,000. Seminars, water, $3,000, seminars, sewer, $3,000, that's in there, guys, for classes. It has to be done, water supplies, $1,500. Sewer supplies, $1,000. Uniforms, $426. Sewer, uniforms, water, $13.95. We buy the guys so much for uniforms a year. Utilities, $148,000 a year in water. Sewer's $54,000.
I think you got it wrong on the utilities, I'm sure you got $80
I
on
think that
that.
should be 80,000.
$80,000.
You should be able to.
So like, I don't think we can get away with
I can't do that, no, that's my mistake. That'll still, budget is still balanced down there, but it's not getting pretty, but I have to fix that. Water utilities, $145,000. Medicare, sewer, get those two numbers, and then social Social Security, wages, water, $266,000, and then the associated expenses that come out with those are the next. And a new vehicle in there is $80,000 for vehicle. That's, there again, y'all gonna have to prove vehicle, that's not being spending, that's just, that budget will be off, $72,000 and $420,000 of the good.
It'd be 340, 376.
343, 343 what?
340, I think 340,000, 376.
That's what that adjustment, right?
Yeah.
Adjustment.
That budget will work. Your note payments, if you're looking at this, by refinancing the way we've done the water and sewer refinancing, you've got more money than you used to have. It's where this money's coming from. Your note payments are not as high right now. All right, the one that ain't gonna fly before we start is general fund. In general fund is the big sheet, yeah. And I tried to break down, and Jason, when we get through with this, he's gonna break, I hope he can get it broke down to where, when you're looking down there, instead of these expenses being jumped around, they'll be, you have a, start looking in the budget every month. We'll have the fire department work with so many groups of numbers, the police department will be the next group of numbers. I don't care how you organize them, and the parks and the library expense will all be, down there. Okay? You wanna go through each of those lines, or just get down to the nitty gritty down there? Okay, get 476,154, disposable income. The library donation, I took out a 10% contribution, because Mr. Bainham, whatever that trust is he's got, you give them library expense at the end of the year and they write you a check. So there's no need in us putting a 10% withholding on that, because he's gonna pay whatever the expense is over there. So the budget, if you want to put that up there and have to hold another $2,000 out of that, we're another $2,000 bad off. And it's not the library expense for the city is a wash with Mr. Bainham, because he draw your line and add at the end of the year, carry it out there, and they write a check, and it goes back in the general fund. Hoffman's Club grant was $1,000. The park grant, we already have that money in this year's budget, but will need to be moved into, because that will be expended until next year. We have the $99,430, or we already have that money for that park grant we got. We haven't spent it yet, it'll be spent this year. So you've got $569,963.59 total income for the year. You wanna go through each of those lines? What you're gonna do down there, if you look at the bottom of this sheet, right now, we have and I don't think I have the right numbers, for the grant writers and for the engineer's fees on that part. Whether you like that or not, you can't get out of those, and let me find those. $12,000, $14,000. Y'all had approved that part of last year's budget that wasn't spent. So there's $26,000 there, of which may or may not be an expense to us next year anyway. And the budget is like it sets, and in the police department, I left the 3 full-time officers and the part-time 2 that we have now, no more. Yeah, stretch this budget, it will not stretch again. And that's got them all, everybody's got their pay raise in there, it's got their insurance premium in there. And the budget, I'm short $5,842.76, but I have the $26,000 in there, engineering fees and, grant writer fees for that park grant.
Billy, off the top of your head, do you have any idea what is discretionary and non-discretionary percentages wise roughly?
There's not any discretion.
Well, I mean, what I mean by that is there's some we can mess with, and there's some that are just flat fixed.
The thing you're gonna have to do to make this budget work is drop those, whatever those, cause I gotta have a balanced budget for y'all to present.
Correct. And we can
And-
amend it though monthly, you know, which we
Well,
always have.
and I think everything, to the best of my knowledge, is on what we did last year. And we said on the police department, because the only way we did the part-time two this year, if we had the grant money from the, top grant that paid, actually ended up paying the salary that paid the part-time two. And we knew that wasn't coming back this year. Nobody got a cops grant in the state. I think six departments got a cops grant, so it got in the whole state this year. So the bad administrator, if you wasn't a high-risk crime town, you didn't get any money, so nobody got any. If y'all wanna, that has left in the budget, the part-time two policemen and the 3 full-time police officers. And if you look down at the bottom down there and look at what our policemen, the fire department, more than income took in, cost you $5,800 last year. The police department, you spent $197,135 more than, of course, police department's not an income maker. You look at, but I'm just looking at where the expenses are going in the general fund. And then Parks lost, $41,000 last year, or will lose more than you had income. And I adjusted the percentages up there in the budget. I left the animal control, the fire department, and parks at 10,000 and adjusted. You had a little more income than that on that percentage that we said we were gonna move. So it's in the 30, put it in the, look down there, the police department got a little bit more. It's only what, but the bottom line budget in the general fund is where it's at. I'm $15,000, if you leave everything in the budget the way it is right now, $335 short. But like I said, I do not think, I don't know what of that 12,000, 14,000 has been paid. I can't tell you right now. But y'all had agreed to that grant last year, and it didn't get spent. If it had been spent, that money would have been gone last year's budget anyway. And you had been over in last year's budget. It's not a secret that you're gonna go over, it's just what year you're gonna spend it in. It's gonna be spent in this year's budget. If y'all will tell me, do y'all wanna look at this and call me back individually and get another meeting set, and let me get the meeting, these budgets adjusted? Y'all gonna have to approve the budget, it's not approvable tonight.
I like these numbers and this stuff that you got laid out here. I mean, this makes sense to me, and I would like to take some time to review this, maybe a couple weeks or so, and review this and see if any improvements can be made, or any changes can be made, or whatever. That's what we need for the time.
You're gonna have to, y'all wanna work our planning session and talk about this some more?
We just need to all bring our ideas back and go. over
Yeah, or
it.
one
We
at a
need
time,
to-
Paul, and just say, hey,
I'd
what
rather
about
do it
some,
together.
some of it, I understand about 90%
Yeah,
of
we
it.
have questions and answers, I mean, we're gonna have to all sit down together.
Oh, yeah.
This is the first time, if you look at the salaries, this gives the salaries for each department for the way. And right now, of course, you're gonna take half of the amount away, you're 2 employees short. We were 2 employees short in last year's budget, and I hadn't found anybody to take
This
those.
is the new rates, or this what you're putting,
Yes.
the rates
Yes.
on all of this? Thank you.
And some of those for employees
Yes.
that need to be adjusted.
You've already, it's been adjusted, okay.
If y'all want that difference, y'all need to look at it.
Well, that's fine, but I'm just saying, you've got, the rate in there is what you, it's on this, but, okay. Thank you.
Any other discussion on the budget tonight? Other than we're gonna have to, approve it. Dustin Bissell, have you got his letter back there, brother? It's in that package. And I put it in there with what you had. Yes, they're in the budget. The two employees are in the budget.
Oh, okay.
No, they're in the budget. Yes. They're still in the budget. All right, Dustin Bissell is our, for those of you who don't know, the judge wants court and wants all the bookkeeping down there. That's gonna be questionable whether it all gets done down there. They're gonna start doing it down there. It's supposed to be doing it all down there. And they started as of about December well, they started taking the tickets in December, right?
Yeah, but they haven't done any bookkeeping, I've been doing it still.
Yeah. But that will shift to down there. That's in the budget, the way it was set that we gotta do this year. But the judges, the Bissell salary, John Reed right there, he's going up, that's in your budget. The city of dear Mr. Bissell, the city of Glenwood would like to, engage in your services as city attorney for the city of Glenwood and assist direct, district. You wanna read that?
Yeah,
I'm sorry,
to
read it.
represent the city of Glenwood in all court matters of civil or criminal nature. We're in agreement that a retainer of $1,000 will be paid to you for all court matters, which includes but not limited to travel time, court time, preparation time, mileage, meals, postage, and other, incidentals. We also agree that you'll be paid a fee of $250 per hour for any service to the city of Glenwood may need outside the court's attention. We expect your fee to be broken out in quarterly hours increments for time spent on the project. The city of Glenwood is an at-will employer under the law, and none of the business agreements shall waiver the city at-will status. The city attorney / prosecution / attorney agrees that he will engage at contract labor for his payments to the city of Glenwood. If you agree with these terms and conditions, please make you a copy of this litigation letter and return it to me. Consider
Okay, that is what Mr. Bissell has agreed to do for next year, to have a motion to, entertain his service at the agreed amount. This is what he said he wanted if he was gonna do the work.
I think he's doing a wonderful job so far, I'll make that motion.
Do you have a
I'll
second?
second.
Roll call?
Alan Moore,
Yes.
Chris Fuller,
Yes.
Johnny Cox. Yes, sir. Julie Clark.
Brenda, you'll need to get this out of my file.
He's always available. Oh, that's one thing I say.
Okay, legislative audit. I don't know what the rest of my paper will put, but it's not in my packet. Right there, maybe. Is that the way? Yeah, I got it. It's mixed up. This is up there. Legislative audit. Do we have to read this?
No, they can just review it. They will not-
There's no findings at all. in
This is the
leg-
one we got in the mail, right?
This one you got in the mail,
Okay,
but we
yeah.
have to read it it has to be in the public record.
You got it.
So, there's no findings at all, nothing wrong with anything in our financials, period, perfectly clean audit. And this would have got,
That was the Bridget.
Bridget in my first year, and Bridget's half year, and Billy T's last half year.
Yeah,
So you've got 2 years here,
there was not even a comment.
nothing, clean as a whistle, what do you like?
But they have to vote to have presented it.
I have presented the legislative audit. Do I have a motion that y'all accept the, legislative joint audit committee as presented by?
Yes, I'll make that motion.
Second,
Second.
roll call?
Alan Moore,
Aye.
Chris Fuller,
Yes.
Jimmy Clark,
Yes.
Johnny Cox. Yes.
Okay, farmer CDs, got 2 that gotta be renewed. Have you
Haven't got quotes yet, but I will.
can I have a motion that Jason get quotes on the, 2 CDs? And
for CD 42000029 and 42000003.
And he'll see who's got the best interest rate and get them
Yeah,
renewed.
sounds good to me.
Have a motion and second?
Yep, we are done.
Okay, roll call?
Alan Moore. Chris Fuller.
Yes.
Jimmy Clark.
Yes.
Johnny Cox.
Okay. For those of you who don't know, the city's got an old one-ton truck up there that don't even have a dash left in it. And we've got a, huh? Y'all know about the truck? I'm talking about, this one you took the bed off of. Brittany, didn't they buy that, they bought one ton while you were mayor and they took the bed off of it? And that's the truck's still sitting there. It runs.
They actually done that when Billy T was mayor and she inherited it.
Yeah, but anyway, it got done while they got the truck while she was
They
there.
got the, yeah, they got the.
And, the one ton that took its place is still sitting up there. And there's a pickup up there that was parked, and those, y'all see the VIN numbers on those one ton and pickup. I would like to dispose of those, they're not being run, they're just sitting there.
And what is this now?
There's a pickup up there.
We say, what are we gonna do? We're gonna take like sealed bids or something?
Seal bids, or do y'all wanna auction them, or if you take them to auction, you can charge 20%.
I'd just rather set them up here and do sealed bids.
Y'all bring it, go vote to bring them up here, and we'll take seal bids to the next council meeting, open them at the next council meeting, if that's what y'all wanna do with those two vehicles.
Yeah, let's do that.
Do we need to make a motion?
Yes, you do.
I made a motion to do that.
I'll second.
Read the VIN numbers one time, please.
I'll make a motion for the one-ton VIN number 1B6MC36CO55303379, and the pickup truck with VIN number 1BGEC14855214538 be sealed bid.
And I'll second.
Okay. All right.
Alan Moore.
Yes.
Chris Fuller.
Yes.
Jimmy Clark.
Yes.
Johnny Cox. Yes.
Rich, you didn't get those two vehicles up here. They're both runnable to some degree, aren't they? That pickup, is it runnable, or was it runnable? The one ton's runnable, you can crank it.
Yeah, you can crank it, that Chevy, we got it in the shop right now.
Okay. I don't know what condition. They parked it because it was bad shape. I was gonna need this setting up. Okay, they, need y'all to accept the, ARPA grant. We did get the money in. This is for the bridge project sewer that we've been talking about. Jason will have to explain how that's gonna go in and what that's gonna cost. It's 400 and what is it there, Brendan? 478.29. That is the money we got back from the federal government on this Build Back Better money. And they let us do that bridge project, the sewer line of the bridge project.
Yeah, but this is just an in and out thing.
That's in and out.
That's what I thought.
Just to prove it.
I'll make a motion, we approve.
I'll second it.
Johnny Cox.
Yes.
Jimmy Clark.
Yes.
Chris Fuller.
Yes.
Alan Moore.
Yes.
Jeremy Gray's, $11,000, he fixed, what's the street behind where the old APNL office was?
Frisco.
Frisco. We had a big drainage issue in there, and the group of citizens that are trying to get the town, downtown better looking, they paid for some stuff, and we paid for some stuff, but that got the drain fixed back in there that wasn't draining, and it was $11,000. Need a motion to approve. That would be paid out of street fund.
I see it now, it's hard to remember.
He put some drop inlets for us in there, and the guys redid Blackman behind he bought where Jimmy Anderson's building was, he redid all of that. And then, they bought one of the pieces of pipe across the next driveway, and the city bought a piece of pipe, and we did the two drop inlets. And that gets it into where that culvert that goes across the road there was stopped up, wasn't draining, we had to do something to get it working, so that's got all that in good shape. You'll have that. That's just good. This was a contractor that was doing all the rest of the guys work up there, rather than trying to go get another contractor, I just got him to do that while I was there doing. He built four different
They do good
people
work.
up there.
Oh, yeah.
Huh?
Jeremy does good work.
Have a motion to accept.
I'll make that motion.
I'll say,
Roll call.
Alan Moore, Chris Fuller,
Yes.
Jimmy Clark.
Yes.
Johnny Cox.
Okay, the next one is TJ Jenkins. We're getting a little bit of work done, and I got everything completed, but, the control gate for the bar screen, the, mount for the VFDs on Mountain View, those are actually hanging on the wall, they're not hooked up, but we have got them mounted now. The module for the sawmill pump station, he was supposed to have got that in, I've been out of pocket, guys, the last few days, so I, and then, the, shop work on the clarifier was $3,400. That's on that invoice, if y'all approve that. That's work that's completed.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Roll call.
Johnny Cox. Yes, sir. Jimmy Clark.
Yes.
Chris Fuller.
Yes.
Alan Moore.
Yes.
Okay, the next one is, Jenkins again, manhole vaults, that is, he paid Peters Concrete for those. We're in the process of starting to get all those installed, he's got, I've actually contracted, gonna get, Campbell and what's the other gentleman with him? Kevin, are gonna put the heavy stuff in, the conduit in, the boxes that we've been talking about for 2.5 years, that haven't got done yet. They're gonna put those in where all TJ's gotta do is come back and, do the wiring on them. And that's the 2 vaults, and then that's all the vaults we'll need, unless we need, we may need an extension ring for, I know Mary Street's gonna need an extension ring. You got a 5-foot vault that needs to go up another foot. The rest of them we think are deep enough, but you gotta get them put in to know. The plug-ins for the generator, we're getting the generators wired up. The portable generator will go to Hilltop or, Twin Bridges. And then he's also gonna get wired up to where you can do we don't have the cord ends bought because that's a different electricity. He's wiring this by code, like I don't know what a 440 color wire is. He's bought all this by color wire and plug-ins. So you've got a red wire, orange wire, and a pink wire to plug in. All the guys are gonna have to do is flip the disconnect switch, plug in, turn the generator, and we'll quit hiring him to come out and every time they need a generator hooked up. Those are the ends, and the conduit and fittings, and the wire. Okay. To start getting that, he's getting everything here, he's got to get it all finished up. That's $16,650. Okay,
I'll make a motion to approve.
and a second? Okay,
Johnny Cox. Yes. Jimmy Clark. Chris Fuller.
Yes.
Alan Moore.
Yes.
What do we have left, Billy,
okay.
on the work that he's doing?
At the sewer plant, we've paid for the telemetry, it's all gotta be put in. At Mary Street tank, they've got all of our tank, Mary Street tank, Salem tank, have got to have the boxes for the transducers to be in. Campbell's putting those in for us. The meters are in for the pump station at Twin Bridges and, Hilltop. And they're putting the vaults in for those, put the meters in, the conduits in, and TJ just has to tap the meter and run the wire in those boxes. Then the city guys have to have to program the those meters. And that's done. Kettle Mountain, still have its vault put in. And hooked up, I'll try to get y'all this together. I've been wanting to get that to you on everything we like. And then, We like at the sawmill, he's got one of those pumps that's blown off at the bottom, he's gotta put it back on. And Jack Tyler rewired that pump about 3 years ago up there, and he cut holes and the sewer gas is all come up, and that's all electrical up, it's all gotta be. TJ's got all that stuff to fix it, but that's gotta be relit, because you don't drill holes in a sewer
No.
manhole and leave it wide open, the gases. But anyway, we got 3-inch holes not sealed off up there where Tyler did that work, and, but anyway, TJ's got everything, he's supposed to have got that one fixed for me. He got the new controls put on at the Rice lift station, it's finished up, those are all put in. We'll have to get you a list of everything, we've got little things here and there and everywhere, and let me get that back to you, so I have it for next month.
Okay.
Cause y'all need to know that, there's not anything, the most major thing we got is getting the telemetry working at the sewer plant. But we finally got everything put back together at the sewer plant, and he's got the telemetry bought, he's just gotta get the wiring running and hooked up, he's got the program ready.
So we just gotta do it, have we cleaned up out there any? I mean,
They were working on that
the
as we
groundwork
speak.
was
How
crazy.
far away from being cleaned up out there?
They're in there off and on with everything going on.
We're trying to get, that's our big project we're working on right now, trying to get that all cleaned up.
I know we had a lot of machinery in there, we just need to
The-
straighten up stuff like that.
TJ, when we get through, his crane will still be there, cause I'm not gonna actually move it home, cause he's gotta come, that's another project we gotta get done. That pump at the river's gotta be replaced, it's not here yet, when it gets here, he's gotta put that in. Y'all have already voted on that?
Yeah.
The motor's in on it, the pumps never came in. The next one is for, Josie,
That would be who's.
Today. What he did is poured the concrete, did the concrete work for us, and we'll have a concrete bill in Glenwood ready mix out there at the sewer plant where our dewatering box is going in the drying bed. The concrete's poured through it, the drying box is out there. We talked with the gentleman, Brad has talked with the gentleman, they're getting all the little pieces they need, to get the dewatering box in operation. But there's $8,000 for his labor on the concrete.
That's mine's a little, it's 8,000,
8,000, that's kind of faded, but that's
is it
8,000.
8,800 or is it 8,000 right there?
There's eight, Brenda,
Looks like it says
4,800, right?
4,800 or something, I can't.
$4,800 is what that
I
is.
need to fix that.
Y'all may want to mark that so you can see that faded out, $4,800. That was his labor to set up and do that. Have a motion on that one, please.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Jimmy Carter,
Yes.
Johnny Cox. Yes. Alan Moore, Chris Fuller.
Yes.
All right, Shelly McGrew wants to address the council.
On that issue, let me see this right. On that issue right there, I actually have a letter, that, my gut feeling is that it be presented at a later date in a private setting with, a couple council members, the mayor and the police chief. And, I think it's gonna be the best way to present this thing. We can, or we can table it for a week or two, or however, if y'all want to go into executive session, that's fine with me.
I don't think we can take
You
a
can't-
public citizen
Public
for
citizen
discussion and
complaint has to be
voice,
brought up.
and they're going to, I don't think we'll do
Then we
that.
have to talk about it, we can go in there. You can't take.
I agree with what you're wanting to say,
Yes.
but we can't legally
You
do
can't
what you're
legally do
saying.
it.
Okay, then that citizen would like to withdraw their letter at this time, and maybe present it at a later date.
You good with that? Okay. I wish there was a way it could be addressed with the council, and some of the laundry doesn't need to be aired for everybody, and it doesn't help anything. We can't get a problem corrected if it gets
another board, so I don't know.
Huh?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Well,
I don't know.
it's just, it's an issue that obviously, like most issues, involves, people and
You don't-
involves
you don't-
things.
Yeah, you don't have to elaborate, I just.
Yeah, anyway, it's just like Billy knows something about it, it's just, we
Very
just
little,
something
but a
that,
little bit.
but anyway, that since she's withdrawing her letter, and I was
Well,
speaking
I
for
tell you,
her.
another suggestion is that the individual can go visit with the mayor, and then the mayor can bring it to the council.
I think I can legally meet with the police chief and.
Yes.
Well, sure you can.
So
Man,
that,
the
that
police chief
person
can
needs to
meet
go
with the
visit
lady.
with the mayor, cause if it's
I would probably
involved,
find that out.
yeah, but just find out what we need to do, ask Dustin.
I think that's legal.
I mean, I don't know what it's about, but anyway, just
Well,
find
right,
out what you need to
as
do.
it stands right now, the citizen withdrew the letter, so we
That's right.
have no issue on the
Yeah.
council.
All right, y'all need to give me, we have to get the budget approved. I can't do anything in pay raise or anything like that. I'm not, but we can't do that. I can't approve it, but I can't approve pay raises or anything like that. So y'all give me, get the budget approved. So we need y'all want a work session? Or what do y'all want to do? We've gotta get that done this month.
I guess the question is, what's your work schedule like? All next, what's your work schedule, what's you?
Right here's one, check it out.
Y'all are the only two that,
I'm good, I mean, I'll be working days next week.
Johnny, you gonna be around next week?
I'm good for any day but the night.
Tonight, which is on
Next.
oh,
Thursday.
what is that? Haley, what is that, the 10th? Okay.
Bridget,
If we do it the
what's our
13th, I may be late getting here, but I'll be here.
We around next week, Bridget? Yeah.
Yeah, but I'll be back early for that one.
We just need to have a, call it planning session. so-
That's fine, I know, I just don't want the 13th, Haley's got a late appointment at Children's that I gotta take her to, so it'll be late when I get back, so. That's the only time that I,
Same time,
So we have to have a council.
Yeah, well, if y'all let me know if there's something y'all want changed in it, what you want changed, I can have that corrected, because I gotta get, y'all gonna have to have a fully approved line-by-line budget to approve it, so it's a little more than.
I think probably trying to meet early one day next week, either way, but it's gonna be a, schedule a date for it.
Y'all gotta do this, then we'll have to get back on schedule with council. You'll have we gotta do the, when can you have the, budget ready to approve for last year?
Our
We gotta get that-
deadline on
we gotta get,
budget-
when's our deadline on
January
that?
1st,
The amended budget is the end of January,
yeah.
and the budget.
February.
is in
February, usually the first week of February,
Uh-huh.
Okay.
But,
for the new budget.
as soon as we get back, we haven't got budget.
Yeah, I know, so you gotta get, we gotta approve the old
Be able to
one.
do the amended budget.
Yeah.
Well, so we're gonna have to probably meet twice this month.
Yeah.
Steve,
We don't need to get it.
So y'all wanna try this next week or the week after?
we're gonna have to meet twice.
Well, I understand that, but we need to figure out what we're gonna, or,
Yeah, let's get the work session over with.
okay, next week's not a problem.
If y'all look at
all
those,
for me,
I
so.
got, that's the checks. What day do y'all wanna do it? I'm fine.
Yeah, I'm good with any day next week.
What day are you gonna?
You said you're out Thursday?
Thursday's my only
I'll be out Thursday too then. That way we're only working.
Y'all meet budget, y'all meet Monday night for budget?
Let's do it on Friday, we'll do it Monday or Tuesday.
Monday,
Monday?
look at there, that's it.
Yeah, cause I
Okay, we're gonna meet planning session Monday. We need to do the two budgets and we'll get everybody ready to do those. Have this ready.
Exactly 4.5 hours.
Thank you, folks.
No clue.
Okay, so Monday night we'll meet for a planning session. 6 o'clock. Okay? All right. Have a motion to adjourn? Second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Ron, would you be sure to do the DJ so I can get that?
Aye.